I was talking to my own self. Okay, I hope this is good. Maybe I should do no delay. Customization. How do I do no delay in here? I know there's an option to do no delay. Edit. But it doesn't give me an option to do no delay stream. Audience, show less, paid promotion, altered content. Oh, never mind. I came back. Okay, I hope this is good. Maybe I should do no delay. I cannot find it. Okay. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome. Välkommen tillbaka. If you're watching this in a YouTube video and not a stream, and you hear me talking German, that is actually because I live in Germany. Surprise, surprise. I used to live in Albania. Not actually Albania, but you know. And I don't live there anymore. I'll show you my screen because I don't like this this thing. Look at my project. I have nothing. Wow. And I have a car game. Very descriptive. Very, very descriptive. I know. Thank you. Okay, let's open this up. And let's welcome everybody up. Hello, everyone. Hello. So, where we left off, where I left off last time is we had an actual fun game. So let me actually just play this because I really like it. Look at this. We made the camera thing, which I'm really proud of. We made the boosting thing. Hell yeah, look at that. Look at that, son. And we made a simple ramp. I don't know, I like it. I really like it. What do you guys think? If you pay close attention, by the way, these wheels belong to a Bugatti. I just ripped them off. Anyway. Welcome everybody, welcome. I fixed myself a drink earlier. And if you're curious to know what I'm drinking some Jaeger. If you don't know what Jaeger is, you are probably better off not knowing. But if you do, it's actually not bad. This fucking keyboard, bro. This Mac keyboard is awful. I'll tell you right now, it's awful. Maybe this particular one is awful, but I don't like it at all. Anyway. Okay, so what is the plan for today? I don't even know, actually. I wanted to make the car more playable. Yes, that is true. And to do that, I keep showing you my files. I don't have anything particular in here, I know. Okay, so I have these assets from the last, or not the last, but I have these assets from when I actually built the first car game. Not really a car game, but you know. This is the first thing that I did, and I don't see a wheel manager, and I know I made a wheel manager. So this makes me think that I have a different video. So what I like to do, is this audio too loud? I think this is too loud. Is this good now? Okay, so I wanted to open a new private window, go into YouTube, and accept all. Yes, of course, accept all. Now, if I look for coding, edge, I should find myself like this. And in here, I should have, what should I have? I have a V2. And if I go into the last video, do you like ads? I heard you do like ads. Okay, so if I open up, oh my god. So if I open up, what am I doing here? I am doing the setting up. Okay, I don't want to do that. I think I have it in here. No, this is camera controller. Okay, I had it towards the end. Oh yeah, and I had the camber alignment thing. I had engine audio. Let me see. I have a Google Drive link. Holy. Engine audio. Engine audio. Why don't I have the whole entire scripts, bro? What the hell is this? Engine audio raw. Engine audio SF. This is not right. This is really not right, huh? Oh no. I don't have my own files. This is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. I don't have the files. Do I have the files in here? Yes, go no, this is just a model. Essentials, assets that I use. This is still not it. Oh my god. I will look at my own Google Drive. So Drive, bear with me, by the way. Bear with me. I want to get the old wheel manager because I know I spent a really long time doing it. So I have my drive. This is not the account. Bear with me. I will be really quickly. Okay. So my drive, I have Unity. Essentials. I only have essentials. What the hell? Python, scripts, top 10, save file, untitled, core setup, RAR. What is in core setup, RAR? Yes, no, that's not it. I guess this is it, this Unity Essentials. Okay, let's try and get this. I do apologize, by the way. This is so inconvenient. I'm not even... Can I just drag and drop this? No? I can actually, but I don't have the thing. Custom editor. I think this is the editor that I need, to be honest, because this would allow us to mount anything we want without losing anything. So game component, where should it be though? Tools, vehicle. Oh yes, this is it. Okay, so if you don't remember what this is actually genius. This is literally genius things. Okay, so I'll put this off to the side. The wheel manager, I cannot find it. Hello, Adrian. How are you? Hello. Feel free to comment. I do apologize for the keyboard sounds. It is a Mac keyboard anyway. So, where was I? I was here. I had this script. And the way I used to do things in the old days is I used to have a scene that I would use to just set up the things. So here it is. I used to use this scene to model whatever I wanted to model. So obviously we had the blue axis right here. And the way this would work is genius. It is just genius. I cannot stress enough how genius this is. So I'll take this and I'll put this in here for now. And if I take, what should we do actually? We'll take the car. Okay, let's take this model and let's create a game object called Porsche. I almost named it Porsche car. Very descriptive name, I know. So if I do this, why does this, what is this expecting though? That is a problem. So this is car setup. No, it should be a editor script if I open up editor. Hello Osman, how are you? We are trying to do some witchcraft. I was trying to where is the editor? Right here. Oh, but there's nothing in it. Oh no. There's nothing in it. Shit. Why? Where is my things? Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. And I don't even have the old editor script in here as well, which is even more shameful. Scripts, I have AI, I don't have editor. There should be an editor script in here. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Well, I guess we're not using this. I guess we're not using it. Hello everybody that has just joined. What is the editor script for? Well, I'm glad you asked. I don't have it now, so I don't know how to explain it to you. But if I go into my old videos, I can actually show you what it is. So, coding, edit. I actually can obtain it because I still have my old computer. And I will definitely do it later. Or not later, but next time. Racing tutorial mobile Tesla semi. What the hell? I remember how fun this was, by the way, using a Tesla semi, and we gave it like 10,000 horsepower. It was amazing. So I have this essentials, but this is not the right thing. Do I use the script? Okay, here is the script. Here is what it is supposed to do. So it's supposed to take in your car or your model right here. And it is supposed to mount anything you want to it. So you have wheels and you have a different wheel for the rear ones. And then you just mount anything you want to it. How amazing was that? But for some reason, I lost it. This is in 2022. This is the wrong one. I forgot to actually... We need more like horror. Who plays horror anymore, bro? So this is what I was trying to do, actually. This is what I wanted. And I think I still have this project. So I'll get it next time. Anyway, let's close this and let's go back to our main script. Not script, scene. So I had the scene city. Yes, I watch your videos, your work well. I was also wondering on how to instantiate cards from menus to scene on grid, lab system, and start and end line in circuit. Well, I am glad you asked, my friend. We are going to do right that, and we are doing it live. So, my dear friend, we have this glorious script right here, this track waypoints. I should add a tag. The tag should be track. There will always be one track into the scene. So we have a tag 0 named track. That's pretty awesome. I am developing a racing simulation myself. Already have the physics engine developed in Unity. What kind? I would like to implement your thing because I'm too lazy in writing it myself. That's why I'm looking to get my old things. It is embarrassing, but I would like to have my time spent in making the game actually fun instead of realistic, because I already made it somewhat realistic. Anyway, to answer your question on how you make your cards, or not your cards, to answer your question on how you make the track itself. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to use this glorious script called track waypoints. And it is the simplest script known to history of scripts, maybe ever. What it does, it holds a list of nodes. So right now we're holding transforms, and the transforms are linked list, which is not the right way of doing it. We should do nodes. So this, instead of being a transform, this would be a node. And each node would have a .next and .next alternative, or a list of nexts, you know? So what I mean by that is, wait, let me actually do this, because I would like, why is this white? I'm sorry for blinding everyone. Anyway, let's do a nice color. Let's do like maybe yellow. Okay. So what I mean by that is right now the track will work like this. So you have a transform, next, transform, next, transform, next, transform. This is your track. What I want now is to ditch this, or actually I don't want this now, I want this later. I will do this later. So what I want is to have a node system. So this, for now, this is a transform. And what is a transform? It is a position. So this thing right here, this transform. A transform has, what does it have? It has a position, so a vector 3, vec3 position. It also has a rotation, and it has a scale, which we don't care. This is all nice and well. This is really good, but we don't want that. We want a node that will have references to other nodes, like this, for example. So my idea was that I can use a node like this, and then the node can have a next, but this node, and this is also a node, this node would have an array of pointers like this, which would point to as many nodes as we need, like this. So this node, and this node. And then the player or the AI or whatever we want to do will have a choice to make. So will it go in this way? Will it go in this way? Will it go in this way? Right? This is the right way of doing it. The node system. Right here. But this is all for later. I don't want to do that right now. This is not as easy to do. So to get back into your question, how are we going to do the track itself is actually very simple. I'll already show you how to do that. And I know this white color is a little not pleasant. So I can do buildings. Buildings don't have a material. Okay, I'll do this. Bear with me. Create material, call it building. I have buildings, and I'll do this to buildings, and then I'll make buildings black. Okay. This is actually not bad, huh? Black buildings. Hell yeah. We're getting ideas. Anyway, so let's actually try and do our track now. We have the waypoints. I cannot see the waypoints. Where are they? This is going to be difficult to see. And that's why we built a coloring system. So I have red color maybe. That is perfect. So unfortunately, I have to delete everything from here because this is useless. And we will try and make some new things. So it's important to keep everything at position 0. And let's start building. So I told you in a different video that if you make a sphere with any collision in it and make it as a prefab, when you drop it into your scene, it would automatically place itself on the ground. And this is perfect level for whatever we want to do. So doing that, we can build our track. How do you deal with garbage collection in your code? I'm not a coder. I'm a CG artist, but I'm trying to learn coding. Oh man, garbage collection is done automatically, but if you're not careful with your declaration right here, so I've seen some people do like public this value, which is of course, I don't know, a float. And then this value holds some, I don't know, something. And this value gets used once. So for example, in the start. And then it never gets used anymore. So you're reserving extra space in your RAM every time. Or what's worse is defining values or defining variables into your, what is it called? Into your update. So people define variables in here, and in my opinion, it's wrong because you're reserving space into your RAM every single frame. So they do. How do you define a variable in C#? I have done all day coding in Node.js, by the way. That is why my AI cards were slightly shaking, because my waypoint were off the ground. Yes. Mine were shaking as well. And that is the exact reason, because some points are like way up here and some points are way down here, and the AI will have to look up. Anyway, what I was saying is some people define variables in here, so they will do, what is it, a float, this value, this single use value equal to 12 or 23. It is never used. A necessary assignment of a value. So what is happening in here is that this is getting executed, obviously. And then every time this is getting executed, so 60 times a frame, so 60 frames per second. So you are reserving 60, 60, what is this reserve? I don't know, bits in RAM. And obviously this is not a big problem, but if you have like too many of those, it's going to break your code. It's 100% going to break your code, and you don't want to do that. You want to define everything in here, and then you want to reuse everything. The moment that you have to define something in here, then it's probably not right. Anyway, I'm not that good. I'm not that good in coding. So what do I know? It's just my opinion, which it doesn't matter. Anyway, I was trying to do a map system. Where is my waypoints? Okay, here is my first waypoint. And now let's try and build the thing. So I was thinking maybe we can do some tracking here. This is a good place, I think. So we start somewhere in here, right? Let's say, for example, we start here. And then we have the sphere that goes like this. Maybe a little closer to each other. Like this. The only downside of this is, by the way, you cannot see them. So you have to drag them in here, and then you can see them. That's the only downside. But the upsides are, I think more. Are they more? I don't know. The thing is, it's really easy to use. It's like super easy to use because you just have nodes and then you can loop through nodes and that's it. That's all. There's nothing else to it. And then you can just map your thing. So let's do a quick sort of map. I know this can be boring, but it has to be done. So in the meantime, why don't you tell me about your projects? Okay, this map is looking like it's taking shape. A bit wrong there. Stack values aren't reserved on every frame, just one and valid until the end of the scope, aka that function. Are they really? Well, it would make sense. It would make sense because anything that is not used will be consumed from the garbage collection. Yeah, you're actually right. Robotic and stuff. A very good name. I can approve. You're actually right. We used to learn about this in university, actually. Anything that is not used will be consumed from the garbage collection. Anyway, I'm not that good in coding. I'm just good at, offering logical solutions, if that's a trait, which I don't think it is. But anyway. So let's make this. And let's make the players turn right here and go into a circle. If you allocate on a heap, then you need to free. Yeah, and it's done automatically, right? I have imported Red Bull Brink, which was free. Did implement AI car work well? Speedometer car works well. Just left is checkpoint, start and end of the race. Oh, you're almost done with your project, huh? That is very cool. Okay, where was I? I was trying to do this. And then this is your finish line. So it is important to look at the to look at where your thing is pointing, and right now I have super small pointers which I cannot see. Why can I not see the pointers? Oh, they are too small, I think. Or they're not visible at all. What the hell is going on? Show arrows. Ah, show arrows. Reverse path. Uh-huh. I have to show arrows. I am actually not that smart, huh? I have my project, which now is cancelled. I did mistake earlier, but now I want to fix it and publish it again soon. Mine game was made with your tutorials about making a car controller. Really? I was actually good enough to help some of you? Why does that come as a surprise to me? I don't know. Depends on the language. In C# you have garbage collector, but for example in C++ you need new and free for allocation. Yes. Yes, that is very true. That is very true. You're good at coding, aren't you? Huh? Robotic and stuff. You should try and making some stuff. Anyway, I can see a problem here, and this is not right. Arrow length, this should be 10. And this should be 100. Okay. Okay, now we can clearly see where the arrows are pointing. And all is well. It's a bit hard to see, I know, but what can you do? It's not perfect. Nothing is perfect. Okay, so we got a closed loop. We can close it if we want, but we don't want to do that. So we have a path. And now what I want to do, why is the sphere outside? Oh, you see why the I watched your early videos in 2024. Your anti-roll bar script helped me also. Really? Where is it? I'm trying to find it actually. Is it in my script? Could it be in here? Scripts. Do I have an anti-roll bar in here? Vehicle wheel drive. What is this? Graph, game manager, finish trigger. I don't have the anti-roll bar. Track waypoints, AI vehicle. I don't have it. I did coding and shared on this platform, but can't write without getting censored by YouTube. Why? What is wrong with your code, huh? Now you're making me... You're making me curious. We can actually cheat with these. What we can do is later on we can make like a various like this. So when the AI comes and sees that this is very, very sharp, it will slow down, even though this is straight. If we want to do that, but we don't want to do that, obviously. Anyway. Okay, so let's see where we are with our racer. Standalone, late exe. What does late exe do? I don't remember actually. This is so old. I have an engine, input constants. Oh yeah, I used to use this for the old input system. And then this for the old system as well. which use axis. Custom editor. Okay. Okay. With only car controller, the car works great, but when steering it rolls upside down. That script did help. Well, yeah, that is the point of anti-roll bars. Center of mass, like that. You can make the center of mass very low, but it doesn't really help if you don't have stabilizing. Every car should have a stabilizing thing. Anti-roll bar, as they say. Anyway, let's get the racer. I already have a racer. Why is this cube here? Delete the cube. Enable the racer. Enable that thing. And now that vector 3 angle represents 3D vector points, but this is on world axis, yeah? How can we do? Let's actually, can I ask ChatGPT or something? I feel really shit doing that, but I have to do it. So make, I'll actually show you the, do you know why I made this, by the way? Can anybody guess why I made these buttons? Because when you ask, I recently learned a new language. I recently learned, what is it called? TypeScript. And TypeScript is obviously no C# because I know C# and I don't know TypeScript. So whenever I ask how to do this on TypeScript, like this, it would give you a response that is so long. Sorry, I'm late. I was in Unity. Oh, Unreal Engine 5. What were you doing there? Building another car racer game? Is 2D the game? No. No. This is no 2D. I don't like 2D. I do like 2D, but I don't like making 2D. This is going to be 3D. I'm using all the Ds. Oh, what a joke. What a joke, I know. Do you like these buildings more like flat or larger? Taller, I should say. Anyway, I was going to ask Mr. Gemini to calculate the degree angle between 3 points in C# Unity. And now this, I did see the buttons like that in Assetto Corsa Python. I wanted to make that feature. What feature? You're talking about these buttons, right? So these buttons, the funny story is, I actually just told the story. I'll tell you again, because why not? I was learning a TypeScript, and whenever I do a prompt, it would give me a message that is so long, like I could not be bothered reading. So I made some buttons that I can just click and say, don't talk, give me a short answer, and show me only code. And I think this is just genius, right? Because I can just say anything I want, and then I can just say, give me a short answer, and then send. And it will give you a short answer. And I also made that it will take the whole entire screen. How amazing is that? I can give you this code if you want. I'm not sure I should share it, but yeah. Vector 3 angle A minus B, C minus B. This should give me the angle, huh? Do you think ChatGPT Plus is more better than Gemini? I don't know, actually. I don't use ChatGPT. See, I didn't make any buttons for ChatGPT. I made buttons for Gemini because I use it sometimes to remember the syntax. Like this, for example, I didn't know this syntax. Apparently I can use vector 3 angle, but we are already using it. My idea on using AI to actually code is like, just don't do that. You can use AI to remember syntax, but don't use it to actually code. It will fuck up your code so bad that you will want to hire people just to fix your code. That's how bad it is. Anyway, so Gemini says that this is how you can calculate between 3. And I'm gonna guess the B is the middle point that we want. So if A is the point that we are currently on, B is the next point, and C is the next dot next, right? So we will have to do this point minus 3. That's how long we can calculate. Or actually, minus 2 should be good as well. And then we have A, which is transform that position, minus transform, what is this? What am I doing? Okay. Snooze, inline, suggestions, snooze, inline, suggestions for 15 minutes. Okay, I don't want that. What I was trying to do is take this, transform that position. Or actually, we don't want to do this. We want to do these. We want to only do these. Do we want to do these? Or Hot Wheels game, I don't know. I'm making. Well, show us something then. We want to see. Anyway, we are trying to calculate the angle so that we know how much throttle to apply. So I found this, or I didn't find it, I borrowed it. That is the correct term, I borrowed it. ChatGPT, we're not using this, I'm just opened it, I don't know why. Anyway, from transform that position, which is point A, minus B, which is this. So this, and then C minus B. So this minus this and plus 2, huh? So you think this is going to work? I don't think it is going to work. I'm using ChatGPT Plus and I think it is a bit more useful. You are right, it has his bad days, but I integrate with full Firebase system. Save everything, then I have no project. Okay, I'll show you my dick. Oh, you mean Discord, okay. Discord. Open Discord. Thank you very much. Pablo's laboratory. You have a Centenario, huh? It's a good model. I don't like it though, but it's a good model. Damn, you talk a lot in Discord. I should get more involved, huh? I think I feel like I'm losing. Or not losing, but missing out. You know what I mean. Anyway, we are trying to do the angle, and by that we can determine how fast we should go. So this is a straight line, we should full throttle this. Let's see. Okay, so we got the racer. Where is it? How long do you think it's going to take him to get from here to the first point, huh? Okay, let's bring him to the first point. Here's your first point. Please go ahead. Okay, so now it's following the first point. Current node is 1. Current node is 2. Okay, perfect. So we have the angle at 177. 180. It should be close to 180 because 180 is obviously what we are looking for. I'll paint a picture on your head, and that way I can show you what I'm thinking. So my thought process was, if I had some nodes, so this node, 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 yeah. So now what I want to do is I want to calculate the angle between this, and this should be 180 degrees. And we can full throttle this, yeah? So we can go really quickly in a straight line. However, when we get to this point right here, I want to move and calculate the angle from here to here. So I want to calculate this angle, and this angle is probably like 160 degrees. So it's less than 180, which is a flat angle, yeah? And whenever we have an angle that is not flat, we can calculate how flat it is. So we want to do 180 minus 160, and then we can absolute that value, which will always give you, so for example, it is minus 20 degrees. We can do abs, so math dot abs. This is an S, don't worry about it. And this will give us always a positive without this minus, so we have 20 degrees. And then we can say, hey, there is a 20 degree curve. Maybe we take, or not we take, but we slow down a little bit. So we can take this curve and we don't just drive off. We can take this curve slowly and then move on. That's what my thought process is. So let's see if it actually works. This should be a straight angle, or a straight, straight angle. And it should stay relatively close to 180. And whenever it gets to a curve, it should go down. So it is going down actually. It is 160. And now it should go back to 180 again, because this is straight. So we can go full throttle now again. You see? And it is close to 180, yeah. It is very close to 180. And now it goes back to 170, 160, maybe 150 now. 140 actually. Right here. And then it will go back to 170 right here when we can full throttle. Right here, look at that. Okay, perfect. We got what we need. We got our throttle control. So now that we got the throttle control, let's make this node current node. So I think by default this should do a closed loop, right? Let's define a public boolean closed loop. I always like saying is closed loop, which is always defaulted to false, and we want to do, what do we want to do? Well, before we set this, we want to do, what do we want to do? To prevent this from, we will have to do so much checks. Anyway, let's ditch this for now. I'm really already tired, so I don't want to deal with this. Anyway, I wanted to do some speed variable. So let's do a header, or not a header, a range from, not 9, from 1 to 10. And let's do speed. This is a float, first of all. Speed modifier. Is equal to 2. So we're doing 2 times the speed. And this is obviously public. And now let's try to use this. I hope you are catching what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do this racer to follow this and obviously vary the speed on the curves. So anyway. Anyway, I have the speed modifier right now. I want to use the speed modifier. So wherever we do transform look at transform position is equal to this. So instead of doing this, or actually we don't have to do anything, yeah? This later will be, this will be determined by the actual car. This is for now just to simulate it. So let's do speed. Speed is now 1. Speed would be, we open brackets, speed times 180, or actually we have to do, first of all we have to do math f dot abs. Abs is just absolute, I just told you that. It will always try to give us a positive value, no overload. Abs takes 0 arguments, no, it takes 1 argument. What the hell? Return the absolute value, so it will return you a positive value always. And the positive value will be 180, which is a flat angle, minus this angle right here. So this times the angle, right? This will vary our speed. And let's add in a speed modifier. I don't think this is going to work, by the way. Or if it works, it's going to, I don't know, do some funny business. Anyway, let's do frame by frame. Let's not do frame by frame. Okay. The speed is now 10. And it stopped. Why is it stopping? Do you guys know? Because I don't. It has just come to a halt. Let's see, what are we doing here wrong? Oh, the wrong thing is that we are doing this wrong. What we're doing wrong in here is that we need to do this, and this is going to be 1 plus this. That's what we're doing wrong. Okay. It is kind of working. It's going really slow now, and then it goes really quick whenever there's a straight. Or actually, this is vice versa. We need to do 1 minus. I once made asphalt street storm in Unity. Really? Why didn't you publish it? Or maybe you did publish it. Anyway. I think I'm being silly right now. Because I'm doing the last thing first. First, we need to get this product. So, to get the product, we need to vary the speed. And let's do public float desired. Or no, not desired, but what do we want to call this? I would like to call this, for example, public float and then steer effect, which is equal to 0. Now steer effect will be, after this is calculated, steer effect will be equal to steer effect 1, or not 1, let's not do 1. Let's do just math f dot abs 180 minus next, like this. So we're moving 180, which leaves us with a cleaner value. So now we should have what we're looking for. Okay, street effect or steer effect. This should be what we're looking for, all right? This is not working for now. This is working for now, the speed. Okay, so if we pay attention to this, the greater this is, the less we need to speed up, right? And the lower this is, the more we can drive. So the question is, how do we reverse this? And I have an idea actually. We need to define a maximum that this value can be, right? And then let's do pub load. We're just defining variables right now so we can see them into our inspector. We will delete everything that we don't need from here. So let's just call it steer effect 1, which is also 0. And now steer effect 1 will also be calculated in here, and it will be okay, snooze for another 15 minutes. So what will this be? This will be a maximum that this can be. So, for example, we will say that this is a math f dot clamp from 1, or not from 1, from 0 to, actually no, this is a value, and then from 0 to 10, right? We will only take 10, or let's actually take 100, why not? In theory, we should only take, what should we take? We should take 90 degrees maybe, right? Well, let's take 100. And then this will give us a cleaner value. I have an error. I have an error actually, because I'm not doing this. Okay, so now that I have a clamps value that cannot go greater than 100, I will be paying attention to this steer effect. Okay. This is not going over 100. Okay, perfect. So we have a full throttle of 1. And then from that full throttle, we want to remove some of it. And then what we can do is just reverse this, right? But we want to do this /100, so it gives us a 1 value, right? It doesn't go over 100 because we have 100 in here. And then if we do /100, this will give us a value that will go only from 0 to 1. And that's all we need. So now that I have actually figured out what I want, I can delete this. And I can even simplify this. So I can do that /100. And this should, in theory, give me a value that goes from 0 to 1. Instead of like 0 to 100, right? You can see it in here. It only goes from 0 to 1, which is what we want. And now I'm not sure if we actually need but let's do 180 actually, why not? And if we do 180 in here, we can do 180 in here, and this will give us again a value of from 0 to 1, which is what we need. And now since we have a value from 0 to 1, what we can do is take this and put it into brackets, and then just add a modifier value right here. So this speed modifier. Speed modifier. So now we can control how much steer we want, right? Or not steer, but this should be throttle. Why am I calling it sphere? Now you can see how this gets greater with this modifier, right? We can tell it how quick to go. And now the last thing to do is to add this into the actual speed. So speed is equal to 1 times, or not times, plus steer effect. Like this. And this speed modifier will go to 100. Why not? Or actually, why do we use speed at all? We don't need speed. Do we need speed? We don't need speed. Alright, I am only experimenting at this point, but I think I'm in a good track. Let's see. Excuse me. Okay, is it moving? It's moving very slowly. Perfect. So now we have speed modifier. Let's increase the speed. I suppose we need to increase it more, huh? That is why we had this the speed itself. Okay, so we have a speed. Let's do a range in here called 0, or not 0, but from 0 to 20. And then we have another range that will do 0 to 100, but this will be a public float. What do we want to call this? We want this value to control how much we want to decrease when there is a curve coming. So for example, what do we want to call this actually? Let's first call this speed as a speed modifier like this. Let's use it. But before we do that, we need to name this. What do we want to name this? This will be corner. Let's name it corner speed modifier here. It's equal to 2, like this for now. This is modifier. Okay, we have speed modifier, which is just the speed. Like this. This is that variable. And then in here we have speed modifier times effect, and the effect is controlled by this. Okay, so we got right now what we're doing is that we got the speed that the racer can go, and we got the speed that will be decreased depending on the curve. It's a bit hard for me to explain because English is obviously not my first language. But we got the speed that this will travel. Hello Raptor, how are you? And then we got the amount of speed that will be decreased or increased Okay, I think, yeah, we ran out of indexes. I feared that actually. Why did I clear the console? I don't know. I think this steer effect has to be negative. Hello Raptor, we are trying to do some complicated stuff. We are trying to do this racer that will be aware of its surrounding. So if we do this 0, this should not affect it, right? This should be going normally undisturbed, right? Like this. And then if we increase this, we cannot increase this too much because this goes backwards. I don't know what am I doing wrong though. What do you think I'm doing wrong? I thought I was a good programmer. I lied to myself. I know. Okay, so we're going along like this. And then we want to go quicker. Right? We are affecting 1. And I see now why. Because the greater this is, the more speed we want to remove from it, huh? Okay, so I just have to reverse this somehow. So the speed modifier is this, and then what we want to do is just remove it from it actually. So we want to do this minus this. And I think this is what it was lacking. So AI, I'm using raycast on mine, like 3 in front, 2 back, 2 in the corners. A bit too many. But using raycasts will slow down your game though, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but if you have your car right here, this is your car. It's not an egg, it's a car. I know, trust me. And then you have 3 sensors, because I know I did what you are saying. So you have 3 sensors here, here, and here. And these will detect obstacles. And judging by the distance, you can slow down or speed up. I know. That sounds like something you should do, right? But if you have 2 in here, then you're gonna have 1 more in here, 1 more in here, maybe 1 more in here, and in here. You don't really need in the back. But if you have this with this many raycasts, then you will have another instance of this car. So imagine this is 1 car, and then you have many racers, 1 car, 1 car, 1 car, 1 car, 1 car, and this, what the hell happened? And then this is your racetrack. If you have this many, casting this many rays and running into a mobile device, I think this is maybe too many. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, we are trying to do this. Let's try to do this. Okay, so we're going along at normal speeds. Ignore this because this should not happen. And then we want to slow down when corners appear. Okay, so now we have a corner. We're slowing down. Right? And we don't have a corner anymore. So we shouldn't actually. This is working, but it's working without a clamp. And I hope you can see why. It's working, but it doesn't have a clamping. And it can be so hard that it will go backwards. You see? It's slowing down and now it's speeding up. And I think another problem is that we are calculating this wrong. This is supposed to be B, and B is supposed to be current node. Not current node plus 1, but just current node. And this should be also current node, and this should be current node plus 1. Because the current node is the one in front of us. Right? Yeah, I know it's a bit heavy on the performance, but I'm using them just on racing, and then he max it's 4 plus local pairs. Oh, so if it is like that, then, well, you don't have to run. Here, another idea, another speculation, if you may. So if you run with 4 players, and then the 4 players have the same thing, it has ray, 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 ray. And then you have 4 instances of this. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. If these are online, wouldn't you have to just do this one? And this is already taken care of from other players into their own computer. So you just read the position from here and here and here. And then you just map them wherever they are in the map, like this. Right? I don't know. I don't know actually. I'm so tired. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, let's test this out. We have speed. We're going along. We are approaching a corner. We slow down. There's a straight now. We're going a little bit quicker. We're approaching a corner. We slow down. We're approaching this hard corner right now. We slow down very much. Now we speed up. Okay, this is perfect. Okay, we got ourselves a player. And it's a closed node. It's a closed node, so it will just loop. I'm actually quite proud of this. I'm sorry if I'm yelling. I'm actually quite proud of this. I'm actually quite proud of this. But we should keep it as it was, though. We should keep it as, like, when it looked too far into the front, so we can react earlier. You see? Now I have no steer effect. We're going really quickly. And then we slow down it here. And then we go really quickly again. We slow down, then we go quickly. We slow down a little bit, not too much. And here is how much we are affecting it. So let's add one last thing. Let's add one last thing. I was thinking that we can do this as a maximum of this, you know? So this can never be greater than this, because that would make it to stop. So what I thought of doing is doing it in here. So let's make this into parentheses or brackets or whatever. I get your point, but the AI is still in dev. Like, I start to make it 2 months ago for like 3 days. The pause. Working on stuff to do around the map. Yeah. I'm just speculating. I told you. Okay, let's do another math. Not meth, but math. F dot. I want to do another abs. Or not abs, clamp. I want to do another clamp. The clamp value will be this steer effect. The minimum value will be obviously 0, and the maximum value will be this corner modifier. Right? Am I doing this right? No. I'm doing this wrong. I want to do this in here, and then I want to do the maximum of this. So now we should never be able to... What the hell am I doing wrong? Okay, so now we should never be able to go backwards. Add a bit of randomness. Where? Okay, so we're going along, full speed. We're not stopping for any corners. Now let's add the modifier to stop at the corners. Right here, and it should never go back, even though we do this. It never goes back. Perfect. I'm sorry. Okay. So I think we're in a very good track so far. We have a map system. We have a map itself. We have the player. We can drive our player right here. I just need to go and try and retrieve the wheel manager from my old computer, if I can find it. I should be able to find it. But anyway, we have the racer, which can go full speed, and it will stop in the corner. Perfect. I think we accomplished quite a lot in this video, right? I think we did. I think we definitely did accomplish quite a lot. Let's make the racer actually a racer. Why is it all the way down there? Let's try and put the camera inside the racer. Reset. Is it facing the blue axis? What the hell? What the hell? There's no rotation. What am I doing wrong? This is right. This is the right way. This is not the right way. This is the wrong way. Anyway, I'm just gonna go play. See what happens. Okay. Main camera. This is the rotation. This is not the one. Uh-huh. I see. Okay, let's try. But why is this not facing the right way? Look at constraint. Look at constraint. Should have this constraint. Activate. There it is. Remove. Now we're looking where we should look. And we have the car. It should look the way we look. And we have the camera. We should also look the way we look. But why is the axis so messed up though? This is this is global. This is global, that's why. Okay. Okay. Now we got the player. Oh, this is so cursed. This is so cursed. Oh my god. I wanted to visualize this. And I cannot do that because this has a rigid body. And it also has collision. Okay. Okay. I like this. And we slow down. And then we go our way. We slow down again. But I feel like this should be even harder though, the corner thing. Let's make it to 400 maybe. And I think with this we are done. So now anything that comes our way that is slightly too hard to handle, it should break like this. Yeah, it breaks more. Okay, perfect. I like it. I like it actually. We're going through walls, nothing to see here. Okay, now we're going full speed. And then there's a curve. We try to slow down a little bit. There's another curve. We slow down even more. Now we go full speed. Now we slow down very much. Now we go full speed again. Perfect. This is perfect. We need a lerp. Yeah, we need a lerp, but we don't need the lerp because this is only supposed to do throttle, nothing else. That's why I don't add any lerps. I should add a lerp on the look at function. You are right. This look at function should have a lerp. So we shouldn't snap. Yeah, you're right. But we should do that later. When we actually come to the players, because we're not there yet. We're really not there yet. We need to first fix the actual gameplay mechanics. Because if we try to go too fast, the car just tries to slip. Never mind, now I crashed, but you know, we need the slip or the friction manager. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. It's a really late stream, I know, but that's the only time I have free time to actually try and stream. And yeah, in the upcoming days I should be a little bit more free and we can try to stream a little bit more, but we'll have to see. So I see that a lot of people actually joined today and I'm really thankful for that. So thank you, and I will be